gray dots here are normal system entries, otherwise known as an NSE, that we would have taken if we weren't in no zone. We're in no zone now, you can tell because of the back coloring. I of course teach you the rules of that if you don't have Pro Indicator or NinjaTrader. But in any event, no zone is a rule set that I teach, and where we don't take a certain setup, which happens to be the normal system entry. And we don't take it because the market's bound to go sideways and we're going to lose. So for example, this could have been a long trade. These little gray dots are just reference points. This would have been a losing long trade, a losing short trade. It would have been a winning long trade, and off we go. Well, in any event, I started the video kind of late. We are open, and I wanted to take this pullback trade because the long-term filter had gone long. So normally when I'm in no zone, I wait to come out of no zone and take the first NSC out of no zone, because that's a high probability trade. And if that one wins, then I'm done for the day. And if it loses, I'll reverse onto the second NSC after no zone and try to recover everything I've lost from the higher probability no zone trade. Okay, but our long-term filter came into play, and even though we're in no zone, we wouldn't have taken this short NSC. That would have been right there anyways. Definitely would have wanted the pullback trade at 11.1050, would have made a profit. I just wasn't fast enough to take the trade. So at this point in the game, the long-term filter is no longer relevant in our trading. So we're simply waiting for us to come out of no zone. If we come out of no zone, we will take the next NSE after no zone. If for some reason the long-term filter goes short and we have to avoid normal system entries coming out of no zones, we'll just take a pullback in the short. And so let me kind of cover that really quick. The long-term filter kind of trumps everything, and we've got some great videos illustrating why we do that. Let's say we're coming out of no zone, and the next NSC is going to be long, and that's the high probability trade. But then a long-term filter goes short. Well, we would avoid that long NSC. Normally, without the long-term filter, that would be a high probability trade, but in this case, it wouldn't have been. So I hope that makes sense. So we're going to watch the long-term filter. I realize that's not showing on my screen. I can only show so much on a screen. So we're going to pause the video, hold up, and come back when we come out of no zone or when we get our next trade. Okay, we're back. We are at a no zone, but the long-term filter is really close to going short. So if that signals, now that's on a different monitor, on a different chart. And of course, again, I teach all this in my Tick Trader day trading course. But if we get a short trade, I will not be able to take the NSE. So let me rephrase that. If we get a short signal on my long-term filter, I would not be able to take the long NSE. Okay, I would have rather have taken a pullback, but I didn't take the pullback just now simply because the long-term filter has not gone short. In fact, we're getting ready to get an NSE, so let me get fired up here, ready to go. I want to enter in at 11.10 long limit, worst case fill. And I'm going to go for a 4-tick target on one count. There we go. Let's jump right in. Got some great slippage, positive slippage. I was happy at 11.10 I jumped in at 11.0975. Not too shabby. Okay, pretty good fill there. Try to grab 4 ticks. That's my one and done, and take one out for a little extra. Now, if I get a reversal signal, okay, which this is not a reversal signal, but if I do get a reversal signal, which may happen if it closes down here at 11.0875, I'm going to have to reverse my position and try to recover what I lost on this trade. So just because you see a short NSE, that doesn't mean it's a reversal. It's not a reversal signal. But if we, again, close at 11.0875 or below, then I got to reverse. So I'm kind of got my hands on the reversal button here. And if I do have to reverse, I'll be down 4 or 5 ticks, and I'll simply try to recover the 4 or 5 ticks. Let's see if this market wants to turn back up here. So kind of an interesting video. I hate to pause it. We're probably going to get a reversal here. Yeah, oh yeah, we're going to get the reversal for sure as soon as this bar closes now. There we go. I'm reversing. I'm short 11.08 1/4. I'm down 6 ticks, so I want to make a full recovery on this trade. The first NSE at a no zone is your higher probability trade, but if it loses, the trade that follows is another great recovery trade. Ideally we'll recover the full loss on this. Now what's also in my favor is the long-term filter has just gone short, so in fact I can now take this for a couple extra ticks, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this down for a full 2 points. If this thing wants to take off and run down, I'm going to recover the 6 ticks that I lost and then make 2 ticks profit. Okay, so that's where we're at right now. And after it moves down to 1107 and a quarter, 1 point in the money, I'm going to take my stop loss down to even, or entry rather, to limit my loss if this thing starts going sideways. But the fact that the long-term filter just went short, that's a pretty good sign. I'd like to, got a good potential here to make 2+ points on this trade. So let's pause for a minute because we're really getting low on time, and I'll come back here in a bit. All right, I'm back for just a moment just to point out that because of the long-term filter going short, if for some reason I wasn't in this trade, I would be going short here at 1108.50 on a pullback just based off of the long-term filter going short, and would be going for 4+ ticks on that trade. So we're going to let this trade cook a little bit, see if this wants to break down and hit 1106 and a quarter. I could go for more, but I want to recover the 6 ticks that I lost. I got some positive slippage going in, got some negative slippage going out, so really I would like to make 2 full points, make 2 ticks profit. That would cover the commissions and maybe get me up about a tick, give or take. So let's pause again and we'll come back in a moment. Okay, we're back. We've moved a point into profit. So, if this was my first trade, I could just take a point off of this and be happy, but we took a loss. We all take losing trades. This was a losing trade. So I need to try to get a little more out of the trade. But at this point, I don't want to turn this into a loss. So once I've got 4 ticks profit, I need to let that go. Now, I'm going to take this in 2 more ticks down into profit. It's already past my 6 tick recovery. I would have recovered my 6 ticks and even have made a tick down here, but I was going for a full 8 ticks. So now I want to take this to a point where at least if this bounces back up, at least I get a couple ticks back. So it's not a full recovery. It would have been a full recovery, and it still may be, but I want to start bringing this down just a little bit. So if it does bounce and turn back around, at least I brought something back in. I would rather be down 4 ticks in that regard. And there's hindsight's 20/20. You could say, well, you should have just went for the 6 ticks. You could have had the 6 ticks, or you could have just went for 4 ticks. That's not the way to trade. You got to have a plan in place, and that's what it's all about. I've got a plan, and my plan is to recover and profit, but I also have got to be prudent and take my stop loss into profit. When I see 6, 7 ticks of movement, I saw 7 ticks movement, and I was going for 8 ticks. That was a full recovery plus 1 tick. I don't want that to turn into a losing trade. So I've got to be prudent and take it down just a bit. Now it's, likely I may get stopped out here. It keeps, flirting there with that 1107.50. But again, if that happens, it's not the end of the world. I've recovered just a couple ticks when I could have had a full recovery plus. Again, that hindsight is always 20/20. You're going to have trades like this. If you set a goal to go for the 8 because you've got the long-term filter on your side, everything is looking up. I mean, you got to do what you got to do. Just sometimes it doesn't work out. So here we are again at 1106.50. If it breaks down through here, we should be in good shape. I'll take it down just a little more, but I really want to make my full recovery plus 2 ticks on a trade. So unfortunately, we got to do it quick because we're running out of time. So if we break 50, I'm going to take this down another tick, and then we're probably going to have to stop this video. Well, let's pause it for just a second. Okay, we just got stopped out here at 775. You saw the full recovery. Okay, the point here of this video is you can see that that second NSE, if the first one fails, is still a strong NSE. I lost 6 ticks. I would have recovered 6 ticks had I just gone for recovery. And normally I just go for recovery, but the long-term filter went short, so I wanted to try to get in for the full 8 ticks. Kind of shot myself in the foot. I still made 2 ticks on a trade, but still a good example of coming out of no zone. How the first NSE is a high probability trade. It lost, but the one that follows is a good recovery. So all things being equal, it really was a recovery trade. It recovered everything that I lost on this trade. I was just going for more profit. So let's wrap this video up, and thanks for watching.